Joining us now is one of the 9 House members who will prosecute former President Trump in his second impeachment trial, Representative Eric Swalwell of California. Congressman, good morning to you. We just mentioned those reports in the New York Times there about former President Trump allegedly trying to remove the acting attorney general in an effort to overturn the election. How much will that and other events outside the January 6th insurrection factor into your case and your strategy?
It's such critical evidence, Whit. It goes to his motive to stay in power, his intent to do that, to call his supporters, to radicalize his supporters at all costs. And it also shows that the January 6th rally, while that's the day the supporters were invited, inflamed, incited, it was not a heat of passion crime, that this was a big lie that had been propagated for months by the president. This was not a slip of the tongue. He knew exactly what he was doing, and the outcome was deadly.
So on that, you have said that this was not a crime of passion. Are you suggesting that President Trump's actions were premeditated in some way?
Well, the evidence will show that for months he had told his supporters that the election was stolen from him. He had called them his cavalry. He said that coming there on the 6th would be wild. And then, of course, while they assembled, and he knew from attacks on the Michigan State House and other state houses that his supporters, when called, show up armed. They wear the militia gear. They bring the MAGA hats and the MAGA gear. So he had, foreknowledge of what they would do if summoned. And once they got there, he said, you can't show weakness. You have to fight. You're going to lose your country. And even suggested that he would go up there with them. Yes, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Now, if we hear from witnesses in the trial, which many expect we will, who would you like to see testify? And could that include former President Trump?
Well, the Senate sets the rules on witnesses. I'm not going to reveal our witness list just yet, but unlike any trial that's probably ever occurred at any time ever in history, the jurors here are witnesses. The jurors here are victims. The jurors here ran for their lives, told their family members they didn't know if they'd be coming home, saw their desks ransacked by these terrorists, and saw their hallowed chamber desecrated.
But what about the president and some of his family members?
Well, look, I'll leave that to our impeachment team. We're still, getting ready for the case. We are ready, but we're waiting to see what the Senate rules will allow. But the president's words are well known, and his posts, his retweeting, he had at one time retweeted over the summer, the best Democrat is a dead Democrat. He has called for violence so often. And it's also important what he didn't do. Once this attack happened, hours passed before he intervened and called for it to stop.
President Biden, we've seen, has called for unity repeatedly. Many Republicans say that this impeachment will just accomplish the exact opposite. How much do you worry this will only further divide this country?
We absolutely need unity in our country, but unity also means that, as President Biden said at his inaugural, enough of us are able to come together for all of us. Unity does not mean that the terrorists who stormed the Capitol or the inciter-in-chief who commanded them to do so have to agree with what we're doing. We need to have accountability. We need to deter a future president from doing this. And we need to disqualify the person who has such a disdain for democracy and public safety who led these events into motion. That's unity, having an accounting and having justice before we have peace.
So on the topic of unity, some House Republicans joined Democrats to vote for impeachment. But in the Senate, you need 17 Republicans to get on board to get a conviction. How likely is that to happen?
We don't look at it that way. We need 2/3 of the chamber to get a conviction, but we're not breaking it down, Republicans, Democrats. Again, we think these are Americans, citizens who were attacked by their own citizens, by our own president who incited them. And so we hope that they take their oath seriously, the oath that the president did not take. And we believe that we can secure a conviction here.
Congressman Swalwell, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.